The message arrived just after lunch while I sat in my corner office on the 34th floor of a glass tower that overlooked downtown Seattle. I had been reviewing partnership agreements for Ares One, the aerospace logistics company I launched. 4 years earlier, the notification was from my mother. Your father's 65th birthday is this Saturday. Given the recent tensions, we think it's best if you don't come. We need a calm evening, no distractions. I stared at the screen, letting the words cut in. Recent tensions. That was her way of saying I'd told the truth that I'd exposed. My brother Tyler for siphoning money from the family's investment firm, the same one I once rescued in my 20s. Theft, apparently, could be forgiven. Integrity could not. A soft knock at the door drew my attention. My executive assistant, Camille, stepped inside. Miss Blake, the renewal forms for the executive hangar leases just came in. If you'll want to sign them before the week's end. Let me see. One of those Hangar C-12 at SeaTac's private terminal housed a Gulfstream G700 I had personally delivered 2 years earlier. Purchased discreetly through Ares One. My family had no idea the company they admired for its discretion and luxury aircraft was mine. I'd built it under another name after they dismissed me as too ambitious to be taken seriously in their world. I opened the jet's flight log. Right after Dad's party, it showed a week-long escape to Turks and Caicos. Tyler, his wife, Aaron, and my older sister Melinda, the so-called family unifiers, had arranged every detail. Another ping. A second message from Mom. Tyler and Melinda have gone to great lengths to plan something beautiful. Please don't stir the pot. I clenched my jaw. The liars and money launderers were invited to toast my father, while I, as a daughter who kept the books honest and built a multi-million-dollar company, was branded the pot-STIRRER. Camille, bring me the original lease contract for Hangar C-12, I said. Moments later, I was scanning the clause I'd quietly slipped in when leasing the jet to their shell. LLC. Ares One reserves the right to revoke hangar access and flight permissions with 24 hours notice for any reason. Call Eric in operations, I instructed calmly. Issue a lease termination for Hangar C-12, effective tomorrow. Camille's brows lifted. That's the Blake family hangar, not anymore. And the jet activate grounding protocol. Remote lockout on the G700. She nodded slowly. Understood. I leaned back, eyes catching on the framed photo beside my monitor, Dad and me at the Boeing Museum, years before the betrayal. I still loved him. But if they wanted to erase me, I would show them how invisible I could make them feel, especially when the runway lights stayed off and the jet doors refused to open. Your sister Melinda is on line 1. Says it's urgent. Camille added. Of course, it was. Melinda only called when she needed something. Money favors access. The last time had been a rushed request for a luxury interior upgrade on her Gulfstream before a college roommate's wedding. She had no idea her embarrassing little sister had been the one granting the favor. I let it roll to voicemail. Instead, I texted Mom back. Don't worry, I won't be at Dad's birthday. But you might want to double-check your flight plans. Next week. Then I returned to the acquisition proposal glowing on my screen. Ares One was preparing to absorb a rising competitor in the drone freight sector. My family still thought I was a reckless dropout who had burned her inheritance on a pilot's license and an MBA. They had no idea I was running one of the fastest-growing aerospace firms on the West Coast. My phone buzzed again, probably Melinda, panicking about the hangar notice, or Tyler realizing his Caribbean escape was about to be grounded. I didn't check. I was busy proving them wrong and giving karma the lift it needed. A glance at the Caribbean forecast showed clear skies for the week. Perfect flying weather. Too bad they weren't going anywhere. The next morning, my office line rang at precisely 7 a.m. The console lit up with calls as the news spread. Miss Blake, Camilla's voice came through the intercom. Your father is on line 1. Your mother is on line 2. Melinda has already called 6 times. Put Dad through. His voice thundered through the speaker. What the hell is going on, Naomi? Company called Aries One just canceled our hangar lease, and now the jet won't start. Something about remote security protocols. What a shame, I said evenly. Have you tried calling customer service? He fumed. They said the owner exercised termination rights. We've been clients for 2 years. Well, Dad, maybe the owner doesn't appreciate being cut out of her own father's birthday party. There was a pause, then papers rustling. Naomi Blake. You're listed as CEO. That's you. Surprise, I murmured. Turns out your reckless daughter built something while you were too busy defending Tyler's fraud. This is absurd. You can't do this. I can, and I did. Clause 9 volts in the lease agreements, you know. The one nobody bothered to read. This isn't how family works. I looked out toward SeaTac, watching one of my jets climb cleanly into the sky. No, but it is how business works. And unfortunately for you, I run both better than you ever allowed me to. Maybe if he'd taken my degree seriously, he might have read the fine print. I hung up .line to blinked Mom calling again. I ignored it. Camille appeared. In the doorway, your sister Melinda is in the lobby. Very determined to see you. I sighed. Send her up. 5 minutes later, Melinda stormed in, her designer bag swinging like a weapon, her heels cracking against marble. What the hell did you do? We're supposed to fly out tomorrow. Sit down, Mel, I said evenly. Let's talk about loyalty. Family loyalty. She rolled her eyes. You want to talk loyalty? You turned Tyler in for embezzling millions, which you helped cover up, I reminded her. He made a mistake. We were protecting him. That's what family does know. Family tells the truth. Family doesn't exile someone for doing the right thing. And they don't banish a daughter from birthdays because it's more convenient that way. Her mouth opened, but nothing came. I gestured to the wall lined with my certifications. Stanford and Embry-Riddle degrees, framed features in Forbes and national papers. This peaceful you wanted, was it? Like when you laughed at my dream of aviation? Or when you mocked my pilot's license as a hobby? Or when you helped Tyler falsify ledgers while sneering at me for refusing to join the firm? She fell silent, scanning the skyline view, the awards, the contracts, the evidence of everything I had built while they dismissed me. You own Aries One, she whispered. All this time that jet I begged to upgrade. You were begging your little sister, I said flatly. The one you claimed wasted her inheritance on a career that didn't matter. Her throat worked. Does Tyler know? Not yet. But he'll find out soon. Enough when he tries to use his loyalty card to charter a backup jet and discovers it's frozen. Melinda sank into the chair. So the Caribbean trip is canceled. Consider it my birthday gift to Dad, I replied. A reminder of what loyalty really means. My phone buzzed again, Mom's third call. I ignored it. On my desk, the regional airline acquisition proposal waited. Fitting, since my family used that airline for backup flights. Soon it would belong to me too. You should go, I told Melinda quietly. I've got an empire to run. Her tone softened. Naomi, I'm sorry for everything. Are you sorry for how you treated me? I asked. Or just sorry you can't use my jets anymore? Silence gave me the answer. My family had banned me from my father's birthday. So I canceled their jet and grounded their escape. If you like stories of quiet revenge and power revealed, stay tuned. This is just the beginning. As Melinda left, Camille returned with a folder. The board at Northwest Skylink accepted your acquisition offer. Should I prepare the final paperwork? I nodded, a flicker of satisfaction rising. That regional airline had been my family's favorite fallback. Now it was mine. Yes, and Camille. Notify all Aries One partners. Effective immediately. The Blake family is barred from chartering any of our aircraft. Under any name or account. Understood. Sometimes life delivers lessons in boardrooms. Other times through grounded jets and revoked privileges. I turned back to my desk. After all, I had a birthday celebration to miss. On the morning of my father's 65th, I sat alone in my penthouse office, sipping espresso, overlooking the sound and watching the chaos unfold through Aries One's back end booking system. They had spent the last 24 hours scrambling, calling every affiliate, chasing every connection. At each reservation collapsed, one after another. "Miss Blake," Camille's voice came through the intercom. "Tyler is attempting to charter a jet with our Singapore partner using his backup corporate card. Decline it," I said instantly. I opened the tracking log for the G700, still parked at SeaTac, a $65 million aircraft, locked down by Aries One security protocols. Beautiful, useless. A paperweight dot. My phone lit up. A message from Mom. "Naomi, please. This is cruel. You've ruined your father's birthday." I leaned back, remembering. Birthdays, pass-along tables, polite clapping, endless praise for Tyler's vision and Melinda's stability. I was always the odd one out. The dreamer with a pilot's license, a distraction. A footnote. I typed back, "Cruel. Like being excluded from his birthday, or like covering up fraud." Her reply was instant. "We can talk about this. Just come to the house, please." I pulled up the satellite feed of the family estate white-pillared mansion on Lake Washington. Private helipad gleaming. They didn't. "No, I'd bought that helipad last year through a holding company. Kent," I replied. "Too busy running my hobby business." The office line rang. This time I answered. "The regional airline rejected our booking," he said bluntly. "Did you buy them too?" "Yesterday," I replied. Along with the helipad and the charter company, Melinda tried his backup. Silence. Then a low voice. "How big is Aries One, exactly?" I glanced at the screens beside my fleet stats, valuation charts, market dominance maps. "Big enough," I said calmly. "It's bigger than the family business, even before Tyler's theft." A pause. "You never said. You never asked." I answered, too busy laughing at my pilot's license to notice the empire I was building. There was nothing left to add. I looked out across the Seattle skyline, steady, quiet, powerful. "Like me," his voice cracked. "Naomi, I didn't." "No, you never asked." "Dad?" I said softly. "None of you did. You assumed I was failing because I chose a different path." Camille appeared in the doorway, tablet in hand. On-screen live footage from Hangar C-12, Tyler arguing with Aries One staff beside the grounded jet. "Your brother is threatening too." "Call his lawyers," Camille reported. "Let him," I said evenly. "Mine are better." Dad must have heard. His voice came through, pleading, "Naomi, please, we can fix this. The Caribbean trip means so much to your mother." I turned back to the window as an Aries One fleet lifted from SeaTac. "And your birthday meant a lot to me," I replied. "Funny how loyalty matters only when you need something from me." I pulled up the internal client database. "Did you know the governor charters Aries One for campaign travel? 3 Fortune 500 companies, too. That little hobby you all mocked? It made me a billionaire." The silence on the line stretched longer, heavier. "At least," I added, "you'll have Tyler and Melinda at your party. The good children, the ones who bring peace, not drama." "We were wrong," he admitted at last. "About everything. About you." "Yes," I said, standing slowly. "You were." I walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, the Seattle skyline, burned in golden light, alive, sprawling mine. "And now," I continued, "you know exactly what that mistake cost you." Camille reappeared. "Your mother is on her way up. Security called." I nodded. "Thanks." Into the phone, I said, "Dad, I have to go. Mom's here probably to beg for travel access I won't grant." "Happy birthday." Then I hung up. Mom swept in less than 30 seconds later. Heels sharp against tile, dress tailored and expensive, desperation barely hidden. "Naomi," she began, voice tight but measured, "this has gone far enough." "Has it?" I asked, stepping closer, "'cause I don't think it's gone far enough at all." I moved behind my desk and lifted the newest acquisition proposal, a charter company the family had leaned on for decades. In fact, I said, "I'm just getting started." She faltered, searching my face. "What do you want?" "What I've always wanted," I answered without hesitation. "Respect, recognition, a family that values integrity over image." I handed her a folder, everything inside: Tyler's embezzlement trail, Melinda's cover-ups, emails, transaction logs. And finally, Aries One's growth, revenue, client base, global reach. "Read it," I said. "All of it. Then ask yourself, if excluding me from Dad's birthday was really about peace, or just about protecting the lies that keep this family comfortable." She took the folder with trembling hands, sank into the guest chair, silent. "I have to get back to work," I added gently. "The jets won't fly themselves." She left without a word. I watched the door close, refreshed the Caribbean forecast. Perfect. Skies, calm winds. Too bad my family wouldn't be enjoying them. Not today, not next week, not ever. Unless they learn the truth. The daughter they dismissed was the only one capable of flying them forward. And she had learned to fly alone. I picked up the phone and called my legal team. "Finalize the Cascade Charter acquisition," I said, "and begin exploratory talks with Apex Regional. I want to own the entire corridor." Sometimes the best revenge isn't just grounding their jets. It's soaring higher than they ever imagined and never looking back. They called me dramatic. A disappointment. It's just a girl with a pilot's license and a pointless dream. But I built an empire in silence. And when the moment came, I didn't shout. I revoked their access, grounded their jet, and made sure they finally saw who I am. If you've ever been underestimated, overlooked, or cut out by the people you loved most, share your story below. Read every one. And if you believe quiet strength speaks louder than drama, hit subscribe. Because success doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just flies higher. And if I've learned one thing, it's this: never let anyone else define your value. Build in silence. Rise with purpose. And when they finally look up, let them see you soaring. Let's fly higher.